getting the muscles not to form also very well, or the brain itself not to form very well, and then literally that becomes now what we know now as cerebral palsy, because it has more to do with your brain, and then from there it's going to influence your movement, it's going to influence the contraction of your muscles. So
hello guys, welcome back to another program. If you're new here, thank you so much for coming to watch this video and coming to be educated. As you can see, I've got a handsome guest.
My name is Jean
very
Daniel
well
Malika.
Dressed. Yeah, and he will introduce
I'm the
himself.
guest today. You need more than that? All right. I'm a trainer. I'm a model trainer, an actor, an entrepreneur, a lot of other stuffs, but those are the main ones so far.
So, of all the three you have mentioned, or is it three? Which one is your favorite? Like, which one are you more into?
Entrepreneurship. I love money. Yeah, and then after that, I'm gonna say acting, because it allows you to be another person on set, like a different character every day. It's amazing. And then I'm gonna say modeling, training models. It's also a passion. And yeah, just because models, they get your nerves easily, but it's really amazing too. Yeah, it's fun.
So, when you train models, what do you look for necessarily, specifically? What do you really look for when training the models?
So I think first thing first, it's more about the passion. Since for me, anybody can be a model. The only place where they have restrictions and a lot of requirements, it's in the high fashion modeling. But if you're not dealing with the high fashion, then for me, anybody can be a model. So for me, what I'm looking for is more about the passion, to know that the person who is doing this is not for the money, it's not for the time being, but it's a lifestyle they are trying to get in, or that they are in already, and then just trying to be professional about it. Yeah.
Guys, before we continue, we are talking about cerebral palsy. I'm going to introduce that right now. So, cerebral palsy, let our guest do it.
Okay, so sorry, we're talking about cerebral palsy, and then so anyway, it's a form of how do I call it, disorder that happens in the brain formation for the kid, mostly in the womb. After that, not that much. There are rare cases, but mostly in the womb, where the brain of the baby doesn't develop very well, and then that ends up getting the muscles not to form also very well, or the brain itself not to form very well, and then literally that becomes now what we know now as cerebral palsy, because it has more to do with your brain, and then from there it's going to influence your movement, it's going to influence the contraction of your muscles. So literally that's what it's all about. Yeah.
Okay, guys, the reason as to why I've brought up the issue of cerebral palsy is that there's this project coming up that's connected to model, right? So he's going to explain to us how it's connected and how and why he is involved. Yeah, and yeah.
All right. So the connection. We have discovered that so far there is lack of awareness. Let's start from there. In the society, where people who are affected, let me say affected for now, by this disorder, are being seen as either cursed or as a disease or something like that. But the truth is, let's start from at least killing some of the misconception. First of all, it's not a disease, it's a disorder, and it's not progressive. Like, it doesn't get worse by time. Like, it's something that you have it, it won't get worse as you grow up. But the reason to why, like, people feel like it gets worse because of now all the other conditions in the society that are going to be now added to that. The way it happens, let me say, for example, if you have a certain problem, a disorder, okay? And the people that you live with, they don't know how to deal with it, or the community you are in doesn't know how to deal with people who have that condition, it's going to look like it's getting worse because now the society around you is going to force you to live a certain way that's now is going to affect now your mental health, and with time it's going to look like everything that's getting worse, but on its own it doesn't get worse because it's a static thing. It's not progressive, or like you can pass it to your kid. Like, it doesn't happen that way. So that's first. So the connection with modeling now, as I said, we felt like the awareness part was not there. So now the idea is to create brand ambassadors, if I can call them that way, like ambassadors of the campaign, or people who can champion for it, okay? Because in terms of training, the other idea about training models, it's about creating people who are like advocates for certain projects, or like a certain campaign who can push it forward. So we are looking for those kind of people, okay? And right now we are only focusing on men for now, only on men, because also for the simple fact that it's true that most of the time they get disregarded about certain things, about either society or just what men are, but mostly in the modeling industry, okay? Anytime you hear about models, you think about ladies. You don't think about men that much, okay? And there is this other weird conception that all models have to be like men, muscled up and everything, you know. It's also like the same way we think every model as a lady has to be slim.
So the weight doesn't matter, or the body size doesn't matter when it comes to modeling?
It doesn't.
What matters?
As I told you, the passion behind it, the why are you doing this? The drive, that's exactly what matters.
So what's your why? Like when someone tells you their why, what intrigues? What's intriguing about your why that when someone says it, you're like, this is the one?
Oh, like when a model says it, like, okay. Now, different people have different reasons, okay? But then let me say, as a judge, when you're like judging models, either for an audition and all that, there is a concept of, sorry to say this word this way, but you need to have a concept of cutting the bullshit, like, because some of them are going to do it just because they heard. Let me say if they come from the slums, they want to start telling you, no, I want to change my story, I want to do this and this and this. Most of the time it might be true for sure, but most of them, they don't even believe it. They just know that's a line that most people coming from that background are gonna pull. So you need to be keen in knowing exactly the person who has it. So you have to be good at telling lies when someone is actually doing it. And I'm not gonna say it's easy to know, but there is a way you know it, especially when training starts. Most people are going to give up because training is not easy. The ones who don't have the drive for it, the right reason, the right why behind them, they will give up. Or you'll see they won't be putting enough effort into it anymore. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'd like you to take us through the training process, since you're a trainer, right? You can perhaps take us through the training process, how it begins. Briefly.
Okay, so briefly, let's see this. Okay, after the audition and all that, the next step now becomes physical. So we need to teach you about your body and how to move it. Sorry to say it that way, but yeah, literally, it's about movement, okay? So the idea is to teach you, for example, the way I would train you how to walk is not the same way I would train someone, let's say, who is bigger than you or taller than you, or shorter than you. Like every body type has a proper way of training those people, okay? And the best way is to teach you first how to know your body and accept it the way it is. And then, because I'm kind of able to identify if you ever had a problem, especially with your legs and your shoulder. You know, when you walk, your shoulder and your legs kind of follow the same movement. So I need to teach you how to know what's wrong with your body or what are your assets in terms of your walk. When you know those, now I can start teaching you now about how to walk. It's kind of funny because we all walk, right? But then again, I'm here saying I will teach you how to walk. That's funny, but yeah, that's exactly.
Are we babies? Sorry.
Let's just say that, let's say we can all talk, right? We can all speak, but again, you can go to a school where they train you in terms of public speaking. So it's all about like, how do you get to that professional level? How do you get good at this? Because there is a way you know someone is a model when they are walking, and one who is not a model, you would know, sure, in terms of walking. So yeah, after the physical, now we get to the actual training. After the training, or actually, like in the course of the training, we're going to touch on a lot of things. Literally, public speaking is part of it. Advocacy. We're going to teach you about entrepreneurship, actually. We're going to teach you about the anatomy of your body. I've said that already. We're going to teach you about the math behind walking. Walking is all math behind it. If you have ever heard any model talking, they're going to tell you about quarter turn, half turn, 360 turn. It's literally trigonometry behind it. So you need to know these things, but not just how to do them, but the why and how they've been constructed. So all these things, let's say it's a long process, in a way.
Okay, let me ask a disturbing question. Why do women model with 6-inch heels and not just normal shoes? Because it's all about movement, right? Not about the pair of shoes that you wear. So why specifically 6-inch shoes?
Okay, just to kill again the misconception, there are pageantries where you actually go barefoot. They exist where we don't really need you to wear any shoes. Pageantry, just like high fashion, it's about what are you advertising for? What is the category? So if the category you're in requires that like level, like the 6-inch and all that, then okay. But some of them, like if you're going for a cultural walk, you don't wear heels. If you're going for let me see, if you're going for Afrofusion, for example, there are a lot of categories. If you're going for smart casual or casual sports, you don't wear heels. So the idea is, are you good at modeling in any form of shoes, either flat or heels and all that? But let's talk about the heels now. At least that was the question. There is a reason why it's all, you said it's more about movement, right? And it's not about the type of shoes, but it's also about elegance. There is a form of elegance that level of heel is going to give you that the other ones won't. Okay? And I'm talking about those pointy heels, not this platform. It's like a block behind here. Not really. Because also, when you're walking, that's why I told you about the anatomy of your body. When you're walking, there are certain muscles that have to be activated when you're walking to make your walk be more glamorous. Because believe me, you can experiment this also in your house. When you have flip-flops on, it's not the same when you walk when you have sneakers on, or when you have Timberlands on, and when you have heels on. You're gonna see your walk kept changing, like depending on the shoe that you were wearing. You see, same thing on like when you are on the runway. So the idea is like, I'm not saying that heels are gonna be give you the best walk ever, but at least it's close to that when you master it.
Okay. So back to whatever you were talking about cerebral palsy. Why do you think modeling will help? How do you think it will help this movement?
Okay. So since the first idea is about raising awareness, right? Modeling, pageantry, okay, it has a way of bringing people together in a really, really amazing way, because it's the same way you go for a concert, right? You can find thousands of people who are there to watch one person performing because they love the act that he is doing. They have seen it before, they know what they are paying for. Now, modeling brings another side of it where you actually don't know what to expect on stage. So it's mind-blowing, actually. So first of all, it's a really, really interesting platform where, in terms of the event itself, okay, it's really, really amazing. Models are there, you are learning new stuff, you are looking at different outfits, it's really amazing. Okay, what they're advertising for, it's really brilliant. But then again, as I told you, modeling, it's about advocacy mostly, being a role model. When these people are done with the stage part of it, okay, they're going to be actively be now out there and do this, okay? Now, these are people who are mostly driven by what they believe in and the cause that they're actually pushing for than anything else, okay? So now modeling comes in like, is like let me call it a process of creating advocates for a certain campaign. So that's why, for me, it's the best platform because, again, they're getting trained on a practical level. Instead of going to a institution where they're going to take you a lot of theories for no good reason, most of them you will never use them. Here we go straight to the point and we teach you the right thing that you need to do. The catwalking and everything, that's more about discipline. Okay? It's more about the discipline than even walking in a really smart way and nice way. It's more about the discipline behind it. Okay? It's just a way to package the whole thing. Okay. Yeah.
So obviously there are red flags in every industry that we face, we come across. What are some of the red flags in modeling? Challenges, rather.
Okay, let me start with the red flags. People who are there for the wrong reasons. We can trace this back to universities. When people are doing the Mr. and Miss University, some people go for the crown because they're looking for fame. And then someone who's looking for fame will be either ready to give anything for it, or by the time they get it, they are also going to be ready to use it for anything that they want, okay?
Let me cut you for a minute. What do you mean they'd give anything for the crown?
Yeah. So someone is looking for fame, okay? They want the crown because they're going to get popular around campus, okay? If, let's say, okay, they get to know one of the judges or the organizers and those kind of stuff, they will be ready to bribe them easily, or let me even say go sexual about it. So let me just package it as bribery. They'll be ready for those kind of stuff easily, okay? So now, let's say now they get the crown, okay? The same thing could still happen. They're going to now try to use that, to get whatever they want now. So let's say a guy now is going to try to either like sleep with whoever he wants around the university. It's kind of stupid, but that's what's going to run in his mind. Like, I'm popular now, why shouldn't it happen? Ladies also, she's going to start feeling as if she's the queen of the university. She's the most beautiful girl around campus, so why shouldn't she get whatever she wants? And start manipulation and all those kind of stuff. So those are big red flags. And then that's the university. Now imagine now when you go for the international or the national platform, it gets worse, because if that's your idea, like you want to get famous about it, you lack discipline and everything else, believe me, it's going to get chaotic, because those people are there already, they are ready to be bribed or asked for it. Now imagine now if you're ready to offer it now, it's 10 times worse. So red flags, yeah, sure, they are there. Challenges, first, it starts from the person themselves in terms of believing in themselves, like, am I good for this? The misconception, am I tall enough? Skinny enough? Don't even know why people want to be skinny, but okay, fine. All those things. So it starts from there. If you cross that barrier, the next thing becomes competition. It's kind of tough here, because nowadays in our generation, everybody is about don't judge me, don't judge me, don't judge me. Okay, who are you? What do you know about me to judge me? But then again, in modeling, literally, there are people who are trained to judge you about your body. So in a way, it's like a soft body shaming something, but that you need to take, because if you can't look past that level where you believe these people are professionals and whatever they're telling me is good for me, you're going to give up the first day. Because they're going to tell you something about your body, you won't like to hear it. Most of the time it's true. But since you don't want to hear it, now you just quit. So that's next. Now, in terms of being ready to be judged, because that's going to happen a lot. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but it happens. If you cross that barrier again, you go to the investment. It kind of requires a lot of money, because when you check about all the outfits, when you think about, let me say, the preparation, it's a lot of stuff before you get to the day of the event. So it's quite a lot of things to put together. Yeah.
Okay. So what's the right body? What's the right body?
I would say the one you accept and the one you work hard for.
Like which one? Like for the model or for the trainer? For you as a trainer, what's the right body? Okay, the one that you won't have to do much training. Let me say that.
As I said, the one that the person accepts, like you know your body. If you come in front of me for a training and I feel like you already know your body, you know how to move it and everything, you know everything about your body, we are like, that's already 60% of it. And then now next, if you know how to actually, let me not say sell your body, but you know how to use it, we have everything. Because now there's where the confidence now comes in. There is where the wow factor comes in. And I think, yeah.
Okay. So what will you change in this industry if you were given a chance to?
Okay. Wow, that's a tough one.
Good question.
It's a big industry. It's a big industry, but let me narrow it down at least to Kenya, okay? Right now in Kenya, there is a lot of, sorry to say it, a lot of nonsense going around. And models have lost touch with what modeling is about, okay? They became, they're becoming more of posers, like they're just posing for the camera, looking nice and cute and everything. That's why modeling is tops nowadays, the glamour, okay? We have to go back to the point where it's a discipline, where like you have to learn the why behind it, the how, and everything, how it's put together. It's an actual science behind it. As I told you, walking is about math. You need to understand that math about walking. You need to understand how to manage your energy. You need to learn about discipline, about how you eat, how you take care of yourself. Like, it's a full thing that you need to learn that models nowadays don't have. So the way of changing the industry is to create, let me not say perfect, but full models. Like, you're a full package. You know everything that you need to know about model, and then we get you to be a role model. Yeah.
Okay. That was really nice. I've learned something. Maybe as we wind up, you can teach us something that you teach your models quickly.
Okay. How to not react to the public. Kind of difficult. Okay, let me just imagine you're in front of like 5,000 people. They're all cheering you up. The most natural thing to do over there is either you start reacting, you are sweating and everything, you lose control of your body, or you start waving back at them, start smiling like a fool and everything. It's natural. So the whole point is, how do you contain that excitement and don't go overboard? It's super simple. There is something that is like something you tell yourself, right? Sorry. The old trick is quite simple. You focus on one person in the room, okay? And make sure that you know the person. This might be your friend, and you know most of your friends are fools. Literally, they're going to even try to make you laugh even harder. Focus on them, okay? And the whole point is, try to be as calm as you can, because you're comfortable with that person. Use them to come, like, to regain yourself, because when they start clapping, believe me, it's going to get to you. Like, focus on the person, try to be natural about it. Don't now focus as if now you're focusing your, like, you know.
What if you can't see this person in the crowd or anyone that you know? What's the plan B?
There is something called the blank view. You can look at the crowd without focusing on one person. And the best way to do that, you look on top of their heads. So you focus on top of their heads, you won't see their facial reactions, and then you keep on, like, just waving through the crowd. It's going to help you. Now, as you are doing that, try to regain your control. So the way you do that, play something in your head, like try to remember something, a movie or something in your head. Try to not a funny movie. Try something just calm. In this case, try to remember your ex. That's going to help you a lot. You're going to sorry, don't go there right now. It's going to help you regain you, because it's something, so in your brain there is a process that is different from what is happening in front of you. It's going to balance both of them and get you to regain control of yourself. Yeah, it works.
That's really good. That's a good one. So guys, there's this project again, Cerebral Palsy, and that's why our guest is here. So it's coming up on April, right? Yeah. So get your tickets at Hustle Sasa. If you want to audition, we can. I'll link the link below. Link the link. You know. Yeah. Yeah. So. Yeah, and welcome guys, welcome. If you want to be part of the models, you can just I'll write his handles. What are your handles?
Jean Daniel Balika, Jean Daniel _ Balika. Okay. That's on Instagram and TikTok. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, guys will get him there if you want to participate to be a model. So yeah, that's it guys. Thank you so much for having us, for allowing us to have you as well. Keep it locked, guys. Bye.